Disclaimer, this channel and all its videos are meant for a PG-13 audience. With that out of the way, enjoy the video. Thomas Friends is no stranger to video games. We got a lot of Thomas Roblox games, and we even have a game on the SNES. But when it comes to early 3D games for Thomas, we didn't really get anything. Us Thomas fans didn't get to jump into the third dimension along with game series like Mario, Mystical Ninja, and Final Fantasy. There was no third dimension game for Thomas on home consoles. Well, that wasn't the plan. There was going to be a game at one point in time. A video game development CEO, Runecraft, wanted to make a 3D Thomas game for the PlayStation 1. The game was planned to come out in 1999, and Infograins was going to be the publisher. You probably don't know either of these studios, and if you do, good job. This game is going to be an educational game because that's what Thomas gamers needed more of in Runecraft's eyes. The lead artist, David Tolley, said that the game didn't get that far into development, which it kind of shows. Everything feels like a beta experience. For the gameplay, there isn't much to go over, it's mainly minigames, but I will cover it, and it is pretty interesting. When the player first loaded up the game, there's going to be a little tutorial. You would hear this: poor Thomas is stuck in a landslide. Help Terrence to dig him out and clear the track. When you were to clear a drift, you'd hear one of these three lines. Well done, that shifted it. Good job, you cleared that out of the way, and that's great, now move on to another pile. When you finally cleared all the drifts, you would hear, what a great job, now Thomas is free to deliver flowers, prizes, and bunting. Would you like to play again? Which, if you played again, we would basically just have to ask Thomas to come back so that way he can get covered by a landslide again. Really looks like Terrence is doing it out of the kindness of his heart and definitely not for the fun of it. The next minigame would be called Guess Who. It would show a tunnel, or two or more tunnels, doing this note here, and it would have a piece of track that would appear long enough for the longest engine in the game, and it would ask the player which engine they would think come out of the tunnel, and they would get 5 possible engine names. And when they chose an engine, the name of the engine that was in the tunnel would appear one letter at a time at the bottom left, and it would let the player try and guess the engine before it appears. The name slowly being revealed with the engine as it's coming out is a really nice twist on that very basic game. I really do like that idea. There is one more game, or even possibly two, that we know about, and it was only in the planning stages, and it was on this nice little piece of paper. It looks like the developers used this to plan out everything they were doing. Like right here it says, I need reference before I can finish engines. Probably talking about stuff with modeling. And there was a question that said, who/when ripping TV footage. They were also probably using that to model stuff. We also see that they were worried about how they were going to do the landslide, which I was thinking the same thing and questioning how would they do that, and I guess they didn't know either. But next to the landslide, it says parade. Was there going to be a parade setting or game? Possibly. That's kind of a neat idea if there was a parade game. And then below that, it says source art for painting game. So there's going to be a painting game, and it was going to have some artwork. I hope it would have been from the Railway series, but it probably wouldn't have. If we keep reading this, it says Engine Shed Game 2D ? Now it could be implying that they're going to make the whole game 2D or just this Engine Shed minigame 2D. That's a little interesting, and it looks like the 3D part of the game was causing a big trouble during development. Also, with this little note right here, it looks like someone was having a harder time understanding how the railway is going to connect in 3D or just in general. This note sheet is really interesting, and if we didn't have this or the other little pieces of paper that they had, we probably would not know this much about the game. All we would really know is really just the models, which you've all probably been waiting the whole video to see, so let's move on to the models. Now, we don't know how many characters were going to be in the game, but we do know is that Henry Gordon James were planned to be in the game, and these characters sadly did not get models, but they probably would have if production continued. But the models that we actually got are Thomas's model, Toby's model, Terrence's model, and Bertie's model, which honestly seeing these early 3D versions of Thomas characters is pretty cool. Now I do want to note that the tires, the wheels, and the buffers being square would not have looked like that in the actual game. That is just how the textures are applied and how they work. They're actually really invisible in the game, and the buffers are circled in the game. Just thought I would clarify that for some people. There are some demos made of the game to see how the game would run and how the models would look, and for these demos, it looks pretty average for a PS1 game. and I know these are basically the same setting, but it is kind of cool to see this. This PS1 game, while interesting to see, I think if the game did come out, they would have had to cut a lot of the playing content out, and it would probably have some big glitches, I would imagine. I do wish we could have seen the whole Steam team get PS1 models, but we sadly never got it. But the PlayStation 1 was not left without a Thomas game. A year after this game's planned release date, a different game was made in Japan for the PlayStation 1. It wasn't a 3D game, it was another 2D game, but this game did have a feature which made you make your own engine, which, that's really cool. We're gonna have to cover this game one day. And that is it for this cancelled PlayStation 1 Thomas game. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed it, consider subscribing. It would really help out the channel. That's it for me, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.